Alright, lighten things up with the electric or lightning type, depending on which game you're playing there. Long story short, there's not really any interesting type messing up, change around nonsense things. It's just straight up electric types. Yeah, actually, that's really pretty much it. Alright, so let's move on to the first card, I guess. Alright, first up we have Pikachu. Pretty sure everybody who doesn't even play Pokemon knows Pikachu. This one's good as a starter. It's got Gnaw for 10 damage and whatever energy you want to put on it. Then Thunder Jolt. Thunder Jolt's an interesting attack where you flip a coin of tails, Pikachu does 10 damage to itself. It's not really detrimental. It's not going to make you lose the game if you get like 1 or 2 tails or whatever. Weakness to fighting though is kind of bad because Hitmonchan just sits all over it. And the retreat cost of 1 is just typical of basic Pokemon. Personally, I prefer this one over the other Pikachu. There's another Pikachu that I'll go over later. Because that one is more focused on attacking the bench, and I don't know, I'm just thinking that might not work too well, unless if you're really into that, so. Also, interesting fact about this specific Pikachu card. I believe there were either misprints or limited edition copies. I forget which. That might have been promos or something. But, instead of the yellow cheeks that you see on screen right now, they had red cheeks, which make a lot more sense because Pikachu always has red cheeks everywhere. So I don't know why they would change it to yellow in the first place, but they did. So there you go. Alright, up next, the evolved form of Pikachu, obviously, is Raichu. I like this Raichu a lot, actually, mostly because of agility. Agility is electric energy and 2 colorless, and what you do is you flip a coin of heads during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage of attacks, including damage done to Raichu, and it actually does 20 damage, so you're not just sitting there all day not taking care of anything. You can slowly whittle down your opponent. And Thunder's a pretty decent attack, I guess. It's a little bit costly, but it does do 60 damage, but if you get tails after a coin flip, you do 30 damage to yourself. Again, fighting weakness is bad, and retreat cost though is 1, which is pretty good for a stage 1 with 80 HP. But again, this card's pretty rare, so good luck finding it. Alright, up next is Magneton, and before I even get started, I like his image a lot, just like the whole CG 3D thing, and like the, yeah. I don't know, I like the weird looking pictures for the Pokemon cards. 40 HP, it's not that great for basic Pokemon, but Magnemite's never really been a star in anything really at all. Thunder Wave is typical para-hacks stuff, 1 lightning energy, 10 damage, flip a coin of heads, defending Pokemon's paralyzed. And Self-Destruct. Self-Destruct does 10 damage to each Pokemon on each player's bench. And Magnemite does 40 damage to itself, even though it does 40 damage for lightning and colorless energy. A combination that you could do with that is you could throw down a defender or 2 and prevent that damage done to Magnemite after using Self-Destruct. Therefore, you wouldn't blow yourself up and still be able to do 40 damage for relatively low cost. Again, fighting weakness and retreat cost, same thing as Raichu and Pikachu. Alright, up next, the evolved form of Magnemite is Magneton. Really for a stage 1 card, its HP is sad. Like, especially compared to, like, other stage 1 cards. But its attacks are fairly powerful, I guess. Thunder Wave is exactly the same attack, just beefed up, and it costs more energy now. Self-Destruct is, again, the same principle, and you can use the same strategy, except it does 80 damage, and does 20 damage to each Pokemon on each player's bench instead of 40 and 10. Again, it's a little bit costly, but it is 80 damage, and you can use a bunch of defenders to prevent damage and whatnot. And again, fighting weakness, retreat cost, same exact thing. Alright, up next, another Haymaker, Electabuzz. He's got that 70 HP, which is always good. Thundershock, which is good for para-hacks. It's really good for attacking real quick and being a really good basic Pokemon. Thunder Punch is an interesting attack where you flip a coin and if heads, you do 10 extra damage, but if tails, you do 10 damage to yourself. It's kind of like Thunder Jolt, but with extra payoff if you get heads. Instead of doing nothing, it does 10 extra damage. Fighting weakness again, except he's got a retreat cost of 2, which isn't as good. But Electabuzz is a very powerful starting electric Pokemon. I would definitely recommend him if you're going to run an electric deck. Oh, also, interesting note about that, they reprinted this card for one of the later sets. I forget which one it is. It's one of the Heart Gold and Silver ones, but they basically retook this card and worded it just a little bit differently just so it could fit into the current metagame. And it looks pretty much exactly the same. It's really cool, and it's really, really hard to find just like a triple star or something. Alright, and the last electric Pokemon in this Colosseum booster pack is the legendary Zapdos. And, there's two different Zapdos. Actually, there's three different Zapdos. I like this one the best simply because it doesn't mess around, really. It's all serious business. Thunder is pretty much exactly the same as, Raichu's, I think. Either that or it's like missing a color sentry. But anyway, 60 damage and flip a coin if tails, do 30 damage to yourself, which, you know, sucks. But you can use defenders and potions and whatnot to keep your HP up. But attack that nobody uses but is like terribly powerful is Thunderbolt. I don't know why Thunder and Thunderbolt. I feel like those might have been switched around for some reason, but Thunderbolt is discard all energy cards attached to Zapdos in order to use its attack, and it does 100 damage, which is a lot. It's not as good as Charizard, but it does a lot. Weakness, it doesn't have a weakness, which is crazy. That's really unusual for any Pokemon for way back then. And a resistance of fighting being electric type is awesome. Though, I guess you could have a lot of standstills if your opponent's resisting electric, but whatever. It's got a big retreat cost. I don't know why. It's a bird, but whatever. I guess all legendaries come with a price, and it's either 4 energies for an attack, or discarding all your energies, or discarding 3 energies to go back to the bench, or whatever. I don't know. Alright, that's going to be it for all the electric types. Alright, once again, the bottom right hand corner, back to the menu. All you gotta do is click right there, so you can pick a different type, or you can go and click on a different club member. Alright, but until next time guys, Bush51, peace out.